Welcome everyone to the hottest bunny girl elimination game results video. Here in this video I will be giving the final results, telling you how the votes were calculated, and showing you how the girls did on each week. For those who are late to the dance, this is an elimination game. So those who were voting were actually voting for their least favorite. And the one with the most votes was the one that got voted out. Though I wish folks had stuck to the category of hottest bunny girl. And even though I was slightly more vocal about it off video, on video I kept my opinion to myself because I wanted voters to vote naturally and didn't want to persuade anybody. Though some of these girls don't fit the category of hot, I did select them because folks recognized them. With the exception of Cutie Bunny, who I felt fit perfectly into this category. During each week, excluding the one double elimination week, voters were selecting one girl that they wanted eliminated. Multiple votes, indecisive votes, and votes that came in after the results were posted were not calculated. And also, if you were curious, I didn't vote until the final 6. Anyway, let's get started. We started out with 12 girls. Lola Bunny, Vanilla the Rabbit, Judy Hopps, Binky Bunny, Molly McDonald, Bunny Rabbit, Panini, Cream the Rabbit, Cutie Bunny, Lexi, Babs Bunny, and Caramel Bunny. Now on the first week we had a little bit of confusion, so numbers are slightly off the first week as opposed to the other weeks. On week 1, Lola got 4, Vanilla 0, Judy 6, Binky 3, Molly 7, Bunny Rabbit 3, Panini gets crushed with 41, Cream gets 3, Cutie Bunny 2, Lexi 2, Babs Bunny 0, and Caramel Bunny 5. Babs and Vanilla with the least amount of votes win this week, but Panini, she's out. Moving along to week 2. Week 2 was when things were slightly back more on track. Lola Bunny had 0, Vanilla 1, Judy Hopps 9, Binky 5, Molly with a damaging 52, Bunny Rabbit 0, Cream 9, Cutie Bunny 6, Lexi 2, Babs Bunny 2, and Caramel Bunny 3. Both Lola Bunny and Bunny Rabbit win this week with the least amount of votes, but Molly McDonald will be eliminated. Now for week 3 we were down to 10. Lola Bunny had 1, Vanilla 3, Judy 8, Bingy 8, Bunny Rabbit 1, Cream the Rabbit, our favorite little lolly, sadly has 31, Cutie Bunny has 15, Lexi 4, Babs 5, and Caramel Bunny 2. And for the second week in a row, once again, Lola Bunny and Bunny Rabbit both equally share the win with the least amount of votes. But since Cream has the most amount of votes, she will be eliminated. Now Cream definitely doesn't fit into the hotness category. But a bonus reason for why she's in this game is because I wanted to see just how long it would take for folks to throw her out. But if Cream did have an older appearance, she might very well can compete with her mother. Jumping now into week 4. With 3 girls gone now, this is the week where votes start to shift. Lola continues to be unscratched with 1, Vanilla 1, Judy 12, Binky 15, Bunny Rabbit 7, Cutie Bunny 12, Lexi Bunny 7, Babs Bunny 26, and Cadbury Caramel Bunny 7. So in this week, this time Lola is now equally sharing the win with Vanilla the Rabbit. But because Barbara Ann got 26, she will be eliminated. What? Who's Barbara Ann? Okay, slowpokes, cartoon lesson time. Babs Bunny doesn't like to be called Barbara Ann. We move right along into week 5. And once again, Lola continued her streak with 1. Vanilla the Rabbit got 4. Judy 8. Binky's in trouble with 30. Bunny Rabbit has 6. Cutie Bunny has 8. Lexi Bunny 7. And Cadbury Caramel Bunny 8. Lola Bunny will take this week with the least amount of votes, but Binky Bunny will be leaving this game. A certain person who will remain nameless got into a little bit of a hissy fit with me when I told him that Binky Bunny was kinda hotter than Babs Bunny. Look, as always, it's always debatable between who is hotter than who, and there's no exception between Binky and Babs. But when we go off the lore of Tiny Toon Adventures, Binky to Babs was like Bimbette to Fifi LaFume. Binky was one of those instant eye candy characters that made all the guys go gaga over her. Something usually the main girl can't trigger on her own, which was Babs Bunny. So it makes sense that Binky could survive 1 week more than Babs Bunny. That's the end of week 5, now for week 6. In this particular week, Lola is 2 points up more, but it still doesn't make much of a difference because she is still on a winning streak. Lola Bunny with 3, Vanilla the Rabbit 8, Judy Hopps 8, Bunny Rabbit 3, Cutie Bunny sadly 29, Lexi Bunny 14, and Caramel Bunny 16. Once more, Lola wins this week, and once again she'll be sharing it with Bunny Rabbit. But since Cutie Bunny got 29, she will be leaving this game at 7th place. Yeah, 7th place. Just gonna let that sink in. Moving right along, we head into week 7 where we begin our double elimination week. The reason why the numbers have doubled is because this was the 1 week voters were allowed to vote twice. Lola Bunny 5, Vanilla the Rabbit 26, Judy Hopps 18, Bunny Rabbit 26, Lexi Bunny 54, and Cadbury Caramel Bunny 47. Lola Bunny takes the week with the least amount of votes once again. Lexi Bunny, with the most votes at 54, will be eliminated at 6th place. Coming in behind that, because of 47, Cadbury Caramel Bunny, who will be eliminated at 5th place. Caramel is actually no stranger to fan polls. At one point in the United Kingdom, in a fan survey poll, she was once ranked the 3rd hottest cartoon of all time, underneath Betty Boop and Jessica Rabbit. Which might I add is really impressive considering the competition that was around during her return to the billboards. Only thing about that is, not to take anything away from Caramel, but because Cadbury is a British candy company, Caramel had the advantage of being a celebrity over in the United Kingdom than any place else. In the United Kingdom, Caramel has the luxury of being on billboards, the back of magazines, and on candy wrappers. Something that doesn't get to be seen over in, say, here in the United States. So the fact that she can still make it to 5th place on even something like this is still very much impressive. Now onward to week 8. At this point we were down to the final 4. And now it's down to Lola, Vanilla the Rabbit, Judy Hopps, and Bunny Rabbit. Lola's consistency streak continues once more with only 5. Vanilla the Rabbit, 35. Judy Hopps, 19. Bunny Rabbit, 25. Lola Bunny wins this week with the least amount of votes, but Vanilla the Rabbit will be getting eliminated from this week. We now head into week 9 where the competition has gotten a lot tighter. It's almost a tie between Lola Bunny and Judy Hopps. Lola Bunny has 20. Judy Hopps has 21, but Bunny Rabbit has 40. Though she wins this week almost barely, Lola Bunny takes this week with the least amount of votes. But Bunny Rabbit, or as she is known now in the comics, Bunny the Cootie, will be getting eliminated at 3rd place. And so week 10 came down to 2 cartoon juggernauts, both each representing a generation. Whether it's fate or irony is completely up to you. One became a famous cartoon sex symbol, while the other inspired others to follow their dreams, while simultaneously beating the piss out of Deadpool and Frozen at the box office. Anyway, let's get this final match over with. Drum roll, please. Ladies and gentlemen, your first place winner, Judy Hopps. After all votes were cut off at midnight, Judy beat Lola with almost a complete overwhelming number. Lola Bunny loses with 66 votes. Judy Hopps stops at 45. And here you are, the results all in order. Judy Hopps first, Lola Bunny second, Bunny Rabbit third, Vanilla the Rabbit fourth, Caramel Bunny fifth, Lexi Bunny sixth, Cutie Bunny 7th, Binky Bunny 8th place, Babs Bunny 9th, Cream the Rabbit 10th, Molly McDonald 11th, and Panini at 12th. And now that this is all over, it's time for me to give my viewpoint and opinion on this whole thing. How can this be interpreted? Well, let's start with Lola. She can go from whooping ass consistently for week after week after week, only for her supporters to turn their backs on her at the last minute. Babs Bunny was robbed of a higher spot on the list because she's 14. Cutie Bunny was shamefully underrated despite the fact that she looked better than a vast majority on the list. Despite the fact that Judy won, Judy was the one that was sliding under the radar for weeks. And in many of those weeks, Judy took a lot of harsh punches that made you wonder if she was even going to make it much further. The once third place winner in the United Kingdom, Caramel Bunny, proved that her rank wasn't a fluke by making it to 5th place. Also, let me make this final point really quick. Based on how some of these votings went down, I have lost the ability to take most of you serious on what is hot and what is cute. Especially between who is hotter, between Lola Bunny and Judy Hopps. Little Miss Adorable ain't got shit on Lola Bunny. I don't care if her movie was better than The Godfather. If there is a category where I gotta select which woman is sexier than the other, then I won't be selecting a Shirley Temple over a Marilyn Monroe. You people are nuts. Anyway, not to take anything away from you, Judy, congratulations! You won! Your fans put you on such a high pedestal that you can win in categories that you're not supposed to. You even beat cartoon sex symbol Lola in the one category that you weren't supposed to beat her in. So at that, you might as well be the new sex symbol now. Whether that is a good or bad thing remains to be seen. What's up everyone, this is Jawbreaker, and as you can tell, this is not one of the usual videos such as Furry Girl Profiles and Gone with the Fur Theater. I'm actually releasing this because I want to address something from yesterday when I released the Hottest Bunny Girl Elimination Game results video. I want to address something to you all. For those that know me in real life know I am a very blunt person. I also have a bit of a competitive streak. Now yesterday when I released the video, in that video I said something to Judy Hopps supporters where I called them nuts for considering Judy is hotter than Lola Bunny. And I just want to start by saying, I still think you nuts. You people crazy. I'm not taking that back. So please stop trying to convince me otherwise on Twitter by calling Lola Bunny boring. Tomboyish, seductive, and sassy actually does count as a personality. I'm still over here trying to figure out if you guys evolved into phase 2 on my ass overnight. Now, regardless, I usually don't apologize for things unless I feel I'm necessarily wrong. With that being said, I'm not apologizing for something so trivial as me thinking Lola Bunny is hotter than Judy. But what I do apologize for is if you guys took everything I said to heart. I feel I should be able to talk to you all casually as if I'm the viewer and not the content creator, especially when I'm participating with you all. And despite whether I like the results or not, I still consider that game and that video successful because I wanted it to happen naturally. I just want you all to keep it in mind that Jawbreaker can be a sore loser. Though I'm very sure you all don't subscribe to me for my manners. Either way, these types of games will start up again in the near future. Though I won't be participating with you all myself, I will be watching from the sidelines for the next few games. At the moment, I need to consider who I will have for the next Furry Girl Profiles this Saturday because at the moment, I have nobody. Some of you all are asking me for Dark Cat, and really, the Bad Girl edition is supposed to be for villains. Dark Cat has a messed up temper, but she's not bad, so I will consider it. Either way, that's all for me. Have a good one, guys. Welcome to Playfur Cinema's hottest Sonic Girl elimination game here on Gone with the Fur Theater. My name is Jawbreaker, and I thank you all for tuning in. Our third elimination game focuses on some of the female cuties from around the Sonic the Hedgehog world, ranging from the video games and the comics. And if you are new to our elimination games and how they work, it's pretty simple. Voters vote out their least favorite until we are down to one. What determines if a character is eliminated is if they have the highest vote count for that week. So if Sonya has a 10 and Honey has 15, then Honey is removed. Also keep in mind this game is going by relevancy, so Kim Pender's characters are not allowed in this game. The featured characters in this video are, starting in the top left corner heading right, Amy Rose, Sally Acorn, Vanilla the Rabbit, Wave the Swallow, Honey the Cat, Takai the Echidna, Lupe Wolf, Nicole the Lynx, Blaze the Cat, Sonya the Hedgehog, Rouge the Bat, and Bunny Rabbi. Now that you are up to speed, it's showtime! So right off the bat for week 1's results, Amy Rose gets drop-kicked with an enormous 49 votes. Sally Acorn has 2, Vanilla 6, Wave the Swallow the second highest, Honey the Cat with a 12, Takai 3, Lupe Wolf 8, Nicole the Lynx 5, Blaze 0, Sonya 18, Rouge 1, and Bunny Rabbit 5. So, what that means is, Amy, when you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always get the fuck out. Because you are eliminated at the disastrous 12. Look, let me go ahead and say this. There is no denying that Amy Rose in any carnation is a very attractive character. And regardless of the fact that I have to kick her around a lot in order to make my point, I don't actually hate her. But there is a reason the voters, not me, put her out at 12. It's because she has the tendency to become very annoying. When you combine that with the fact that she's in every new Sonic media, in my opinion, it drags down her character a lot. But that's not even the worst of it. There's a certain fan base out there, and they know who they are, that has an obsession with seeing her with Sonic. And not only have they built up an ugly reputation for themselves, but they have dragged poor Amy, the character they love so much, down with them. I said it once, and I'll say it again. There is no bigger bitch than Karma, Amy. And today, she is putting you out. We now move on to week 2 and to seek our next girl for 11th place. Sally Acorn has 4, Vanilla the Rabbit 11, my Wave to Swallow 25, Honey the Cat 14, Takai the Echidna 5, Lupe 5, Nicole the Lynx 2, Blaze the Cat 3, Sonya the Hedgehog 29, Rouge the Bat 3, and Bunny Rabbit 2. Wow, okay, I guess no hedgehogs allowed then, because Sonya the Hedgehog is eliminated. I don't have an issue with Sonya. What's wrong with Sonya? Oh, okay, whatever. Anywho, we move on to week 3. So on to the results for week 3. Sally Acorn 1, Vanilla 14, Wave the Swallow 40, Honey the Cat 29, Takai the Echidna 7, Lupe 7, Nicole the Lynx 1, Blaze the Cat with the lowest at 0, Rouge the Bat 7, and Bunny Rabbit 2. So unfortunately, you people put my baby Wave out at 10th place. You people. You people. Moving along to week 4. So for week 4, Sally Acorn got 4, Vanilla the Rabbit 15, despite what my heart used to be, disrespectful, Honey 25, Takai 25, Lupe 10, Nicole the Lynx 4, Blaze 7, Rouge 7, and Bunny Rabbit 0. Because Honey and Takai equally shared the highest amount of elimination points equally, they are both eliminated. However, I decided to not equally allow these two to share a rank. Instead, what I decided to do was put it in the voters' hands and allow them to choose which one they preferred better. Which moved us into week 5, putting Honey the Cat versus Takai the Echidna. The winner would move to rank 8. The loser would stay at rank 9. Putting a bit of separation between the two, Honey came out on top with 43, while Takai stayed in 9th place because she got 54. As we moved into week 6, Sally Acorn still remained relatively low. Vanilla, on the other hand, doesn't seem to get no more MILF love, with the highest elimination count of 42, and it seems Lupe is right behind her with 29. Nicole 11, Blaze 15, Rouge 1, and Bunny Rabbit 5. With only 1 vote, Rouge has the lowest for this week. Vanilla, however, is leaving this game at 7th place. As we move into week 7, Sally remains still pretty low. Lupe, on the other hand, is in trouble with 46. Nicole the Lynx is grabbing just a bit more attention than she wants at 18. The same goes for Blaze at 20. Rouge is also the same along with Bunny Rabbit, both equally sharing 11. Sally has the lowest at 9, and it looks like Lupe's wolf pack is not strong enough because she is eliminated. With Lupe gone officially at 6th place, we now have our official top 5. And based on the girls who are here, I'm not in the least bit shocked. Except the conspiracy where Wave is eliminated at 10 and the computer makes it to 5. Oh yeah, I'm on to you people. You rigging numbers. Yeah, I understand. Nicole the Lynx in the top 5. There has got to be an internet porn joke in there somewhere. Sally Acorn continues to pick up steam with the lowest of 7. Nicole the Lynx and Blaze the Cat equally share 34, which is the highest for this week, which means they both will be doubly eliminated. Rouge the Bat at 31 is the second highest. Of course. Bunny Rabbit, 9. No, seriously. Did you guys really try to throw Rouge out at 5th place? If you guys keep voting like this, we're gonna end up having a full-on boxing match in the comment section like we did the last time. Keep this up, okay? Anyway, the same situation just like Honey and Takai. Since Blaze and Nicole equally shared the highest elimination points for this week, they are both eliminated. However, instead of letting them equally share a rank, I put it in the viewer's hands to decide which one is the better between them. So on week 9, sharing almost the exact same numbers as Honey and Takai, Blaze ended up with the lowest, while Nicole ended up with the highest. Nicole, you are being pulled out of the Matrix. 5th place for Nicole the Lynx. 4th place for Blaze the Cat. And here we are, the final 3. And in my opinion, I think these are arguably considered the hottest 3 of the Sonic franchise. The gorgeous tomboy princess and the original female nudist of the Sonic franchise, Sally Acorn. Her legs might be metal, but everything else is all natural. The sexy southern belle of the Sonic world, Bunny Rabbit, or Bunny Rabbit D Cootie. While she steals jewels for a living, if she can steal your heart, she'll take that too. Arguably, the closest to Jessica Rabbit in the Sonic franchise, the seductive, tight leather wearing, Rouge the Bat. And in actuality, each of these girls had something to gain from being 1st place. Sally for one will be seeking recognition on a list that doesn't involve somebody's hate campaign for once. Question is, was this supposed to be it? Bunny Rabbit is seeking redemption after she lost in 3rd place in the hottest Bunny Girl elimination game to Lola Bunny and Judy Hopps. She was also looking to back up a statement she once upon a time made long ago in the comics, when she jokingly called herself the sex symbol of the freedom fighters. However, that is not if Rouge has anything to say about it, as she is looking to reinforce her title as the Sonic franchise's sexiest female. For week 10, I allowed voters to pick 2 females they wanted to be eliminated. In what took a little over a week because Sally Acorn and Rouge the Bat kept clashing with each other, in the long run they both ended up with a 79 split. However, since they have the lowest on the board, they are not both doubly eliminated. That unfortunately is poor old Bunny Rabbit, forever stuck at 3rd place with a crushing 99. And so we had it, our final 2 of Sally Acorn versus Rouge the Bat. And the winner for this game is... And your winner for this game, Princess Sally Acorn. Even though it wasn't by much, congratulations to Sal and her supporters. Now, being perfectly honest here, and I'm not taking anything away from Sally, because I do think I have just a bit more Sally supporters than Rouge does, which helped her to ease out Rouge barely. Realistically, at the end of the day, it wouldn't have mattered if Sally Acorn had a better personality or not, which seems to be a common issue with these games. If it was any place else and it was a battle of sex appeal and who is the most fuckable, then Rouge would have curb stomped Sally and the rest of the 10 girls. I won't give full details today, I'll save that for another video. But for now, your winner of the hottest Sonic Girl elimination game, Princess Sally Acorn. Guys! It's Valentine's Day! And what better place is there to be than for your lonely ass to be right here on Playfur Cinema? My name is Joe Baker and welcome to Gone with the Fur Theater. So, in the past here on the channel, we have had a couple of hottest anthropomorphic girl elimination game videos. Our first biggest elimination game included all bunny girls. The goal of the game was to eliminate the least attractive girls in order until we have the final girl who was the hottest among them. In the final round of that game, it came down to Lola Bunny versus Judy Hopps. With a total of 111 votes, Judy beat out Lola with 21 points. After the hottest bunny girl elimination game, we had a Sonic Girl elimination game next, and the same rules apply for the hottest Sonic Girl elimination game. In the final round, it came down to Sally Acorn versus Rouge the Bat. With a total of 155 votes, Sally Acorn beat out Rouge by 3 votes, to be called the hottest Sonic Girl here on Playfur Cinema. Today, the accuracy of our final votes will be tested on a wider scale. Over the course of January, I took poll surveys among furry and non-furry fans to see who they thought was the hottest among the anthropomorphic women. Was we right, close, or way off? I guess you'll just have to stick around and see. The 3 main common hashtags used were furry, cartoon, and sometimes sexual Sunday. To avoid a character having an advantage, personal hashtags such as Zootopia and Sonic the Hedgehog were not used, unless the characters on the poll were from the same brand or from the same series. Our first of 10 polls was a MILF-off featuring the mothers of Sonic the Hedgehog, Vanilla the Rabbit, Queen Annalena, Bernadette, and Alicia Acorn. This was the smallest poll with 177 votes. Of course, this one was completely one-sided with Vanilla the Rabbit having 75%. The second highest was Bernadette Hedgehog with a still extremely low 11%. When it comes to the mothers of Sonic the Hedgehog, it's generally always about Vanilla the Rabbit anyway. But for this particular poll, I had to give my vote to Bernadette Hedgehog, the mother of Sonic in the Archie comics, because I really do feel she was underrated in terms of who is the hottest mother in the Sonic universe. Not to say that to take anything away from Vanilla, of course. I'm just saying Vanilla might need a little bit of competition, and that Bernadette might need someone there to rub a little sunscreen on her ass every now and then. Our next featured girls come from Planet Dolan. I asked fans, who did they think was the sexiest anthropomorphic on Planet Dolan? Between Shima and Melissa, with a total of 201 votes. Shima won no contest with 73%. Melissa, 27%. Oh, come on guys, that's just mean. Not even 30%? There's still some hope with 30%. I'm just saying, bird girls need love too. Our next poll is a notorious one among Sonic fans. I asked the Sonic forums and a mixture of other fans who did they think was the sexiest between Amy Rose and Sally Acorn. But Amy Rose is just 12. Nope, she's not Cream the Rabbit. She's old enough. So, as we go into the results, and it turned out, if you were a fan of Amy Rose, or especially a Son Amy fan, then this would feel like a straight kick in the nuts. Out of 232 votes, fans selected Sally Acorn as the sexiest among her and Amy Rose, leading the charge with a 72%, while Amy Rose had 28. Now, similar to the Shima and Melissa poll, I decided that once a character hits that 20% mark, there's pretty much no hope that they'll ever come back. For example, there has been a little bit of a flicker for Amy. She has went up to 30%. But then what happens is, as it goes on, she'll drop right back down again, which is why this wasn't worth pushing. So with that, the jailbait loses and we go on to our next poll. Our next bout is a rematch 24 years in the making. A little bit of a history lesson for those of you who seem to think that only furries vote on this stuff. In 1990, a TV show named Tiny Toon Adventures debuted. Within that show, we were introduced to a French purple skunk named Fifi La Fume, which is on the right. Amongst fans furry and non-furry, Fifi La Fume was considered the sexiest anthropomorphic female within the 90s. Or better yet, probably the sexiest in general since it was still 1990 and no real competition was built up yet. But then 3 years later came and we were introduced to the Animaniacs, which brought to us Minerva Mink. But this time, among fans, Minerva beats out Fifi and takes her crown. The title of Sexiest only lasted between Fifi and Minerva because it was soon retired. In today's throwback poll, we'll see exactly how these results hold up 24 years later. And as you can see, there will be no redemption for Fifi La Fume when it comes to Minerva Mink. With a total of 302 votes, Minerva completely bulldozes Fifi La Fume in the category of Sexiest, with an 83% lead. Though if the title was never retired, it is possible that Minerva would have went up against her bitter rival in the boner creating department on the other side of the Warner Brothers watermark, Lola Bunny. However, just because they can't, doesn't mean we here at Playfur Cinema won't. In a slightly smaller poll than Fifi versus Minerva, with 279 votes, Minerva takes a beating from Lola worse than what she gave to Fifi, being completely dominated by Lola's 88%. Though I will say, this poll isn't entirely fair. I say that because Space Jam Lola and Minerva Mink have a similar background, being remembered mainly for their sex appeal. And because of that, they have both earned a similar bad reputation. But the thing about this poll is, it reflects 20 years later and not what could have been 20 years back. Within 20 years, Lola has managed to stay relevant and redeem her character. Minerva, on the other hand, never got that fighting chance even before her show ended. But, even still, I still didn't expect it to be this one-sided. This next poll is for those who love pussy. Cats. In this random mashup, I asked fans who do they think was sexiest between Kitty Catswell of Tough Puppy and Callie Briggs of SWAT Cats. This poll was voted on a total of 348 times. Aww, Callie only got 30%? But it's Callie Briggs. Just why? Kitty Catswell leads with 70%, Callie with 30%. And well, truth be told, it isn't that bad. I mean, she could have lost to someone so much more worse. There's nothing wrong with losing to Kitty, though we might fight about this still just a smidge. I feel that gap should be just a little bit more closer, not 30%. Our next biggest mashup features the Chipettes, Jeanette Miller, Brittany Miller, and Eleanor Miller. The 80s versions, of course. And I asked fans who did they think was the cutest among the three. And the survey says, with a total of 384 votes, Brittany Miller among fans is considered the cutest Chipette, though it is still a bit torn between her and Jeanette. If me personally had to choose, I would say Brittany would be the best Chipette, Jeanette the cutest Chipette, and Eleanor as the most adorable. And that's how I would prevent a civil war from breaking out, because actually I was going for Brittany. Sorry, Jeanette fans. I'm just gonna move on now. The following results, on the other hand, is not my fault because I voted for Crystal. In our biggest poll to first reach the 400 mark with 422 votes, Renamon beats Crystal with 53%. You know guys, this is like the equivalent of Nicole the Lynx beating Sally Acorn in a sexy contest. And I'm sorry, I just know this ain't nobody but you first. Ain't nobody but you vote for Renamon to win this. Renamon doesn't even really have a gender. Does she even have a pussy? You know what? And I move on now. It's time for our first of two main events where we revisit the hottest Sonic Girl elimination game. As I already stated earlier, here on Playfur Cinema, Sally Acorn beat out Rouge as the sexiest Sonic girl with 3 points. However, when we take it to a wider scale, will Sally Acorn still be in the lead? And those results are... Now, I know some of you Sally Acorn fans are saying, "Ah," but truth be told, it's actually not as bad as it seems right here. Because this particular poll is unique, because Sally Acorn was actually winning among Sonic fans. Luckily, I've kept some older screenshots of the results. For a good while, Sally was actually maintaining a lead over Rouge. But because they were so close, I deemed it too early to call the results. So I allowed the votes to continue, which began slowly backfiring on Sally, until Sally started to lose her grip around the 500 mark. Unfortunately, Sally's numbers never went back up and I had to call the results. Rouge wins with 55%. Now it's time to play a game of Jawbreaker Told You So. Because if I remember correctly, I said in the Hottest Sonic Girl elimination game that any other day, a beauty contest amongst Sonic girls is usually something Rouge wins. And somebody said I had no respect for women because of this. You see, the thing is, it never bothered me that Sally beat Rouge. I love it when Sally wins. I love defending her. If anybody could beat Rouge at a beauty contest, it is Sally Acorn. But you have to know her victory is not really set in stone. See, whether some folks like to listen to this portion or not, the Hottest Sonic Girl and the Hottest Bunny Girl elimination games were physical beauty contests. And for those who like to use personality as an excuse to vote for their favorite anyway, don't count Rouge's personality when it benefits her character. Because truth be told, Rouge has a combination of best body and best seductive attitude. So if we really wanted to include personality, Sally Acorn does have a good body on her, but Sally doesn't have the best fitting personality to beat Rouge overall. That's just me. It might sound like nonsense, but Rouge still won by 10%. Not to mention Rouge has tits. Tits automatically win. Anyway, it's time to move on to the final poll. Oh, not again! So, in our final poll, it is Judy Hopps versus Lola Bunny. So, we had our Hottest Bunny Girl elimination game before the Hottest Sonic Girl elimination game. And if you watch that video, you'll realize that Lola Bunny was pretty much curb stomping everybody week after week. But then when we got to Judy versus Lola, well, I guess since Zootopia was such a damn good movie that we forgot that this was a beauty contest and we let Thumper beat Jessica Rabbit. And I'm getting ready to relive this mess again. So, without further ado, Judy Hopps wins by, and you know what, I'll actually give her a drum roll this time. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I mislead you? I meant to say lost with 31%. See, in this type of stuff, you gotta love wider audiences because you just know more people are gonna vote for what makes sense. I asked, who did they think was the sexiest rabbit between Lola Bunny and Judy Hopps? With 785 votes, Lola Bunny wins with 69%. Oh, you mean to tell me Jawbreaker gets not one I told you so, but he gets 2 I told you so's with a limited edition screw you thrown in? Oh well. Of course, you know, don't pay no attention to Jawbreaker. He has no respect for women and is a sexist when it's convenient for people. Anyway, that's enough of Jawbreaker's salt in the wound. It's time to wrap this video up. Anyway, all jokes aside, guys, thanks for tuning in to Battle of the Sexiest fan picks here on Gone with the Fur Theater. If you liked today's video, please leave a comment, a like, and subscribe for future videos. My name is Jawbreaker, and I thank you for watching Playfur Cinema. to the Q Cup Elimination Game results show here on Playfur Cinema's Gone with the Fur Theater. This special Q Cup is only the 4th in a series of elimination games we have held on the channel. For those of you who have never participated with us before, the rules are simple. You eliminate your least favorite on the board, hopefully according to the criteria we are asking for. We do this for about 9 to 11 weeks depending on how many characters I let people eliminate. But the traditional rule is, you can only vote for one girl per week, and I do not count multiple votes. As far as I'm concerned, I have an unwritten rule. I cannot influence voters directly. Otherwise, it defeats the purpose. So when the game is becoming a train wreck, I can give my traditional words of wisdom. But I still have to bite the bullet, and I still can't tell you directly who to vote for. However, I can vote just like the rest of you. And just to put this information out there, I voted on the first 3 weeks and on the final 2 weeks. Now that you are caught up to speed on how things work, it's time to talk about the Q Cup in general. Unlike our traditional hardest elimination games, we've taken our characters who are not old enough to win at some of our more rancy battles and put them in a playing field where the game is more fair. Now then, listen carefully, because this next part is important. If you are one of those people who get ass hurt very easily or think fictional characters are not old enough to consent, please proceed to exit this video and go throw yourself into ongoing traffic. But Showmaker, you can't say that! To hell I won't. Alright, I'll say the names of the girls one more time and we can proceed to getting this party started. She is expecting big things in her future. Give it up for Animaniacs Warner. She has an extreme howling addiction and keeps sniffing Miss Grimwood's ass. Give it up for Winnie the Werewolf. She's the only token scaly on this board. Give it up for Dragon Tales Cassie. After 30 years, she had to get a facelift for her returning role. 2017 Webby is on the board. It's fun to let them hijack the game until suddenly it's a problem. The Chipettes, Eleanor, Brittany, and Jeanette from the Amazing World of Gumball, Anais. Next up, from Sonic the Hedgehog, Cream the Rabbit. And I think I figured out who her father is. Sources say his name might have been Pie. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let that sink in and know you're not gonna get a source. And our remaining girls, Molly Cunningham, Pistol Pete, and Molly McDonald. The thing about numbers sometimes is, not only can they show you a peek into the possible future, they can also give you an idea of how popular a character is going to be. And since I'm the guy who calculates the votes, I can easily see who won't be making it very far. For week 1, remember when I said I sometimes allow voters to vote for more than one female? In order to get to the 10th spot a lot faster, I allow voters to vote for 2 females. Di has 3, Winnie 7, Cassie 9, and Webby is not off to a good start with 12. The Chipettes all managed to remain pretty low. Eleanor 5, Brittany 3, and Jeanette 6. And at East got a swift punch to the stomach with 19 votes. Cream the Rabbit 3, Molly Cunningham 5, Pistol Pete 22, and Molly McDonald 32. Because there were 2 eliminations, both Molly and Pistol will be eliminated for week 1. Because Molly McDonald had the highest, she will be eliminated at an unforgiving 12th place, while Pistol will take 11th. Now, don't raise your hands all at once, but do you all know what Molly McDonald and Pistol Pete had in common when they were eliminated? Some of the voters were saying they were being eliminated because they were brats. Let's talk about McDonald for a second because she highlights some of my many issues I have with these games. This is the second time we have used Molly in competition. The first time we used her, she was in the Hottest Bunny Girl Elimination game. And I believe that's a game that should have been out of her league, but she managed to make it to 10th place. Here, in a game where she should have an advantage, she is eliminated at 12th. Besides the half that was calling her a brat, which I will get to in a minute, the other half was saying they don't know who she is, therefore they are going to eliminate her. And that is highway robbery. You see, Molly's problem is exactly why our elimination games remain more physical than they are personality. Physical beauty is easy because all you have to do is look at the character and see how physically fit they are. Personality, on the other hand, is hard because when personality is involved, that requires you to actually think. But while these games generally remain physical attraction, the personality debate generally comes up when somebody's favorite is in a spot they know they shouldn't be in. Guys, the I don't know who the character is argument does not work as well as you think it does. This is the part that should have been taught to you in school. The power of research. It ain't like when our grandparents grew up. Our grandparents actually had to walk down to a library and open a book. We have it way easier now. We live in an age where we have the power of Google. As far as Molly is concerned, she's actually not a bully as much as she pretends to be. Molly is a character of self-conflict. She only became a bully herself after she was bullied when she was younger. When she's not around the rest of the tough customers, she's actually a very different person. She actually even stopped bullying altogether and apologized to everybody when she saw her brother James was imitating her. Now you see my issue? Not only did we throw out a character with a really cute face way too early, we actually threw out a really interesting, complex character. So, happy holidays, Molly. If you relapse, you can blame it on us. Now, one last part for week 1. Dot, Brittany, and Cream have the lowest votes with 3 points. Those 3 you should keep an eye on. As we move into week 2, Dot remains at 3. Winnie, on the other hand, is in trouble, and I stamped that big ass 26 in the middle of her forehead so everybody could see it. Cassie dropped down a number to 8 while there's a little bit more pressure on Webby at 15. The Chipettes have completely shifted in numbers. Eleanor 3, Brittany is up a point by 4, and Jeanette has dropped down to 2. As for Anais, while it's not as bad as week 1, that 13 is still a bad omen for her in the future. There was no change with Cream, while Molly Cunningham went up by 2 points. Jeanette wins week 2 with only 2 votes, while Winnie is being executed with 26. As Winnie takes 10th place and the characters on the board begins to shorten, the numbers begin to spike up. Dot is now out of her cozy little number at 3 and goes up to 11. Cassie also goes up to 13, and Webby goes up by 2 points at 17. The Chipettes ended up with a funny little pattern. Eleanor goes down 1 point from last week, Brittany goes up 1 point from last week, and Jeanette goes down 1 point from last week. As for Anais, that omen I was talking about finally caught up to her. She now has the highest on the board with 23. As for Cream, she also drops down 2 points to 1, while Molly Cunningham doesn't change. Cream and Jeanette equally win week 3, while it's goodbye to Anais. It's week 4 and we're right back at it again. This time Dot goes down 2 points to 9. As for Cassie, it looks like she'll be wishing herself right back to Dragonland because that 24 takes her out of the game. As for Webby, well, all I gotta say is, enjoy your last week. The Chipettes slightly shift numbers again. This time both Eleanor and Brittany are at 4. Jeanette goes up to 2, Cream goes up to 3, and Molly Cunningham went up to 11. Jeanette wins the week with the lowest points, but goodbye Cassie. As we move into week 5, it seems like it's been a game of back and forth with Dot. 1 week she's down, 1 week she's up. And it seems like Winnie has moved her 10 out of the way so she can see who looks better than her. Unfortunately for Webby, it's a swift kick to the bill with 30 votes. Guess you all don't like Webby 2017. Eleanor and Brittany are also up in numbers, but Jeanette continues this mean streak she started a few weeks ago, with only 2 points. Cream is at the highest she has ever been since the game has started with 6, and well, Molly, I'll tell her the same thing I told Webby. See you next week. Whoa! What's happening here? Dot has 18. Come on guys, for real? 18? She has a cute song! But even with the omen now above her head, 18 is not enough to stop her from making it into the top 5. And speaking of the top 5, we now turn our attention back to the trio of Chipettes, who have ran roughshod over everybody for the past 6 weeks. And based on some of the discontent from some of the voters, it seemed as though their popularity was underestimated. Eleanor 6, Brittany 6, and Jeanette 5, none of them are close to being put out. With Jeanette being the lowest, she continues her streak while going neck and neck with Cream, who she only beat out by 1 point with 6. But good golly, Miss Molly, you out of this game! With Molly being eliminated at 34, Dot, Eleanor, Brittany, and Cream all make it into the top 5. As I told you earlier in the video, to pay attention to Dot, Cream, and Brittany, because those were all going to be the girls in the top 5. Eleanor was just a wild card riding the wave with her sisters, and never having a single week where she was high or the lowest. But Jeanette, on the other hand, by week 7 was on a 6-week hot streak of being the lowest. Being on a hot streak does not always mean the character is guaranteed victory. So far, the only character who has ever gone on a hot streak and made it all the way to first place was Sheila Vixen. Jeanette 6, Eleanor 7, Cream and Brittany 11, and with 53, it's the end of the road for Dot. A character who took pride in being cute wasn't put out, she was shoved out. By week 8, as Jeanette's hot streak was moving up to 7, another streak was ending. The Chipettes managed to get past everybody, and we almost had a Chipette face-off. The only person they couldn't get past was Cream. Unfortunately for Eleanor, being the thick monk is not going to help her this time. With 36 votes, Eleanor is eliminated at 4th place. You had to have been voting with us for the last couple of weeks in order to notice something is off here. And oddly enough, when it happened, nobody asked me why. From the channel count, Brittany was eliminated with 39 votes. But for the final 2 weeks, I decided to add a plot twist. I went out and decided to bring in outside voters. In a public poll, I asked everyone who is the least cutest on the board, and they voted for Jeanette 51% of the time. In total, Cream reached 59, Jeanette 98, and Brittany 34. When those numbers were calculated with our votes, Brittany ended up with the lowest at 73, Cream ended up with the second highest at 82, while poor Jeanette and her winning streak was obliterated off the map with 120. In our final round for first place, Brittany Miller of the Chipettes versus Cream the Rabbit. Keeping in mind, the one with the lowest is the one that wins. Let's begin our drum roll. With an overwhelming majority, Cream dominates Brittany 16 to her 61. Wait, not so fast there, Timmy. There's another element being added to this. You see, while this game was supposed to be more about cute and adorable, along the way it became a civil war about who was more attractive than the other. In a game like this where people can't be reasonable towards what's correct over their favorites, it seemed as though all 3 Chipettes became extremely ugly combined. But that doesn't sound right. Otherwise, all 3 Chipettes wouldn't have made it to the top 5. Now I'm gonna give Cream the benefit of the doubt. If it was a physical beauty contest between her and the Chipettes, she might can get past Eleanor. She might can get past Jeanette. But if it's against Brittany, she would run slam into a wall. But since folks wanted to have this debate anyway, I announced on Facebook that this final round will have hottest elimination game, first place, sex symbol rules. And let me put this part out there. The reason why some of you didn't know about the poll is because I didn't want a bunch of people voting twice. In a public poll that reached 203 votes by the close of Friday at midnight, I asked which was the least sexiest between Brittany and Cream. Brittany received 34% of the vote while Cream received 66% of the vote. Now something just came to my attention. The reason why these numbers don't line up with the poll is because somebody probably just barely managed to get their vote in while I was taking a screenshot. Nevertheless, these were the numbers that were calculated into the final result. Brittany 35% received 70 votes, while Cream at 65% received 132. With those numbers now added to the total, we now finally add the final result. Brittany Miller with 131, Cream the Rabbit with 148. Your winner of the Cute Cup elimination game, Brittany Miller. Here is your official list. Molly McDonald 12th, Pistol Pete 11th, Winnie the Werewolf 10th, Anna East Waterson 9th, Cassie 8th, Webby 7th, Molly Cunningham 6th, Dot Warner 5th, Eleanor 4th, Jeanette 3rd, Cream the Rabbit 2nd, and Brittany Miller at 1st place. By the way, I just wanted to let you all know that this was fun as always, and everybody on this channel is a winner. Well, except for anybody cheering for the other 11. That was Jawbreaker joking, by the way. You all gotta stop taking me so seriously. Thank you for tuning in to Playfur Cinema's Gone with the Fur Theater. If you liked today's video, please leave a like, comment, and of course, subscribe for future videos. My name is Jawbreaker, and I thank you for watching Playfur Cinema.
Honey, you're a sweet thing, and you look so fine. All I ever wanted is to make you mine. Give me a clue. Tell me what I need to do to get lucky with you.
to the results show here on Playfur Cinema's Gone with the Fur Theater. My name is Jawbreaker and welcome to the hottest Sabrina Online Girl elimination game. After 9 to 10 weeks, welcome to our third official elimination game here on Playfur Cinema. In order to have played this game properly, you probably would have wanted to be familiar with Eric Schwartz's Sabrina Online and Fur After Dark. And if you are familiar with Fur After Dark, then you'll realize there are a lot of girls that are not featured in this current game, such as Bunny Bloom and Raven Hunt. All of the girls selected for this game at least have some connection with the Sabrina Online comic strip, with some slight exceptions being Tammy Vixen and Clarice. If you're not familiar with how elimination games work here on this channel, the rules are pretty simple. Voters are supposed to vote for their current least favorite on the board. The girl with the most votes will be eliminated the following week. Or, if I might be so bluntly, since we're going off hottest, the girl that's supposed to find the least attractive. We do this each week consistently until we are down to 1. Now, some games are worse and better than others because 9 times out of 10, everybody thinks their character is a 1, even though their character isn't a 1. And I say that because there is a catch, an element I do not bring up when we are voting. Everybody's favorite can't be a 1 because everybody's character isn't meant to be a 1. When we play these games, the one I am looking for is supposed to be the Jessica Rabbit out of all of them. The one who is supposed to be the sex symbol. When voting starts, I have to hold myself to a code so I can let the process happen naturally. I can't influence voters directly. That being said, I can cast my one vote like everybody else. Now, sometimes I will make my announcement and say who I'm voting for, and sometimes you'll never know when I'm voting. You'll never know when I'm causing the tie or breaking the tie. Now, this isn't the first time we've done a Sabrina Online style elimination game before. Furry faithful and cartoon fanatics alike, I am back with a very deliciously sexy game I like to play with you, titled the Sabrina Online Elimination Game. Now I heard they say the freaks come out at night, but luckily for us, these are Eric Schwartz girls, so they're all natural freaks from dusk till dawn. Yeah, that's enough of that. The year was 2015 and I don't want to sit through it no more. Back when I was making up random games to keep the channel active while I was working on the Furry Girl profiles, I took a picture of Eric's main 5 girls and made a game out of it. This became the very first elimination game we had on the channel when we was around maybe like 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers. Not only is this the first game that was never recorded on Gone with the Fur Theater, but it was not consistent at all. How the votes ended up was definitely different back then because not only was it a smaller cast to vote for, but it was a smaller audience. Tammy wasn't dealing with a Stacy or a Zigzag. For the very first elimination, Amy the Squirrel was eliminated at 5th. The second time around, Sabrina was eliminated at 4th. After that is when we really started falling off. But when we got to the third elimination, Clarice was eliminated at 3rd. Then the kicker started and Sheila and Tammy got locked into a tie for over a month. Until one extremely late random straggler came along and voted for Sheila. But nowadays I consider that non-canon. That's really not good enough anymore after a month. But now we get ready to do it right. Are you ready? Let's get started. So for week 1, Tina Lynx got 7, Zigzag 3, Sabrina 5, Callie with a not so good 17, Amy 4, Helen 16, which is also not good because that's right behind Callie. One more vote and that would have ended up in a tie. For the bottom row, Dark Cat 14, Sheila 2, Tammy 1, Stacy 2, Tracy 1, and Clarice 1. Tammy, Tracy, and Clarice all equally win the week with the least amount of votes. But you want to know who's not winning? None other than our favorite motor mouth, Callie, who unfortunately can't talk her way out of being voted out at disastrous 12th place. Callie, I banish you to the Phantom Zone. It'll only get more harsher here, as we'll see on week 2. Starting from the top once again, Tina Lynx with 6, Zigzag 4, Sabrina 5, Amy 6, and Helen gets bulldozed with a 29. after barely just escaping execution the week before. I guess you folks won't have pity on a MILF. I mean, it's not like she didn't get drunk in college, get pregnant at an early age, had to drop out of college, lost her husband. Hey, it's not like I'm calling you all meanies. Meanies! How dare you people give a single mother 29. Anyway, now to the bottom row. Dark Cat 15, Sheila 1, Tammy 1, Stacy 1, Tracy 1, and Clarice 2. Sheila, Tammy, Stacy, and Tracy all equally win the week with the least amount of votes, with Tammy and Stacy continuing their streak. Miss Helen Dish, on the other hand, peace. As we move on to week 3, with the 2 stragglers gone, we are now down in the bottom 10. And right off the bat, we've already found our casualty for the week. I guess a little older and a little thick is not in this season. Tina with 20, Zigzag 5, Sabrina 2, and Amy 3 for the top row. Now for the bottom row. Dark Cat with 15, Speedbag Tits, Sheila Vixen with 0, Tammy 1, Stacy 1, Tracy 8, and Clarice 7. Sheila goes completely untouched to a 0 and now starts her streak at 2. Meanwhile, that poor little old top row continues to go up in flames. Tina Lynx, for week 3, you are officially voted off the island. Moving into week 4, Zigzag 4, Sabrina 5, Amy 6. With an overwhelming 22, it looks like Dark Cat will be receiving a boot for week 4. Sheila continues to ride her momentum straight to the finish line with only 1 vote. Her sister Tammy Vixen, 6, and it looks like Stacy is fighting back with 1 vote as well. Tracy, 6 as well, while Clarice at 3. Sheila and Stacy equally win the week with the least amount of votes, but Sheila's streak now goes up to 3. As for Claus McBitey10, no hard feelings, but I really don't think people like the idea of having their dick bitten off. Dark Cat, you are out of here! As we move on into week 5, Zigzag continues to keep her steady pace with 8. Sabrina, 11. What's the matter, Sabrina? Life catching up to you? Sheila Vixen, 1 again. You know what's kind of funny when we do these games? It's like, at some point, there's always maybe like 1 or 2 individuals that always try to take down the one girl they know they won't scratch anytime soon. It's like trying to knock down a steel wall with a pillow. Instead of voting for somebody that needs it, like say, Sabrina! Instead you waste your vote and your week trying to be different. Oh, I almost forgot about Amy, 13. Just enough to unfortunately get pushed out the door. As for everybody else, Tammy 7, Stacy 3, Tracy 12, and Clarice 7. Sheila's streak now goes up to 4. I couldn't figure it out 2 years ago, and I still can't figure it out now, but apparently folks don't like Amy very much. And so, Amy takes 8th place. Bye, babe. The only reason I'm not kicking and screaming about the order is because I didn't specifically state which version of Amy that was. But, according to week 6, that's not gonna last very long. So for week 6, Zigzag has had a little bit of pressure taken off of her with only 2 votes. Sabrina, 13. Oh, Sabrina is still in this. Oh! Why? Oh, sorry. Old Jawbreaker almost lost his temper. As Sheila moves into week 6, her number has officially turned red, symbolizing that she is now on a hot streak, with 0 votes. Tammy Vixen, 2. Stacy, 2. Tracy, 10. And I'm trying to figure out an explanation as to why, fine as hell, Clarice has 26. I will say this, because I will not go through what I went through last year with this stuff. There are a lot of good-looking girls on this chart. It's not possible for them all to make it to 5. It's just strange to me that it's a recurring habit that every time we do a hottest elimination game, folks always latch on to the most sugariest broad on the list. Now, somebody in the comments section did say a little while back that this is more like the Judy Hopps effect. I call it more so the voting like you're looking for a wife effect. Jawbreaker never said the most adorable elimination game. He never said the best game. He never said the best waifu game. You want an idea of what I'm looking for? I'm looking for the girl that you would not take home to your mom. Sorry to sometimes tell you that your waifus suck. It's just that this is Playfur Cinema. I feel like there's some obligations and expectations that's supposed to be up there somewhere. 7th place, shaking my head. Now look into her glorious titties and apologize. You did some shitty shit. We move into week 7, where Zigzag has 3, Sabrina 21, Sheila 1, Tammy 8, Stacy 4, and Tracy 21. Once again, Sheila wins the week with the least amount of votes, bringing her hot streak up to 6. Unfortunately, on week 7, we ran into double trouble. 2 21s equal a double elimination, which meant we had to have a skunk off to determine who was going to go into 5th and 6th place. For week 8, it ended up being Sabrina versus Tracy. And unfortunately for Sabrina, there was very little mercy for that week. Sabrina got 40, Tracy 27. Sabrina took 6th place like it was meant to be, and Tracy took 5th. Oh, by the way, guys, you want to know a little secret? Sabrina actually had 20. She could have moved on into the top 5 without being eliminated. You just have to factor me in, because I decided to exercise my right to vote and turned it into a tie. Now, the following is a long time coming. If you were one of those people that voted for Judy Hopps in the final and are the same people who are voting for Sabrina, that's for that tragedy you call a hottest bunny girl elimination game! The end is near as we reach week 9. With no Tracy, we only have 4 girls left, being Tammy, Sheila, Zigzag, and Stacy. And would you look at that? Tammy made it to the top 4. Look who's trying to be relevant. Too bad that ends here, as Zigzag eases her out by 1 point at 28. Stacy still has it going on with 16. Music reference. And with 6, Sheila continues to dominate with a hot streak of 7. Farewell, Tammy. The road ends for you at 4th place. And so, if you've been voting with us all this time, this is the moment you've been waiting for. For the final week on week 10, I allowed the voters 2 choices for elimination. Some decided not to exercise both choices, but that was up to them. Now, who's gonna be my first place? Stacy, Zigzag, or Sheila Vixen? With Stacy having 60, that means she has a steep mountain to climb. It all depends now on what the other 2 girls have now. Stacy 3rd, Zigzag 2nd. Your winner of the hottest Sabrina Online Girl elimination game, Sheila Vixen. Yeah, throw your lighters in the air like you just don't care. Yeah, Vixen titties, or get the hell out! And that is a sign it's time for the video to be wrapped up. And there you have it, the official list from 12 to 1. Carly 12th, Helen Dish 11th, Tina 10th, Dark Cat 9th, Amy the Squirrel 8th, Clarice 7th, Sabrina 6th, Tracy 5th, Tammy Vixen 4th, Stacy 3rd, Zigzag 2nd, and Sheila Vixen 1st. Oh, and somebody asked me who all my personal favorites were. My personal favorites were Clarice, Tracy, and Sheila. This has been another episode of Gone with the Fur Theater here on Playfur Cinema. If you liked today's video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for future videos. My name is Jawbreaker, and I thank you for watching Playfur Cinema. Viewers of Playfur Cinema, I asked you a question. Which of our previous 4 hottest elimination games should get a rematch? With 59% of the vote, you have selected 2016's hottest Bunny Girl elimination game. So I welcome you all to Miss Bunny Girl 2018. based on our 2016 Hottest Bunny Girl elimination game, only with a different style and slightly different rules. The first part that needs addressing is that the original elimination game had 12 bunnies. This one has 10. That's because Sonic the Hedgehog's Cream the Rabbit and Panini on the right were removed from the game, trying to narrow the game down due to space. Because this is a physical beauty contest, Cream did not fit into the category. Yes, I said physical beauty. Don't you start that only personality matters shit. While Panini was removed from the game due to the fact that she was eliminated first at 12th place, which leaves our seemingly rising star Molly in the middle. During our Hottest Bunny Girl elimination game, Molly was eliminated at 11th, putting her between Panini and Cream. When you take those two out, it drops Molly off at 10th, which is still last. So I had her qualify off screen against another rabbit who didn't get an opportunity the last time. None other than Lola Bunny's mother from the Looney Tunes show, Patricia Bunny. But if Patricia is not on the board, it's because off screen she didn't make it. In the poll with 270 votes, I asked, who did they think was the sexiest rabbit? Molly had 73% of the vote, Patricia 27%. Hey, I'm just the guy who makes the games. Everything else is up to the voters. And the voters decided they wanted red-headed tomboy over thick milk. So, for now, Molly's in and Patricia is out. Now then, for the competing girls, this game is tournament style. And unlike our previous elimination games where we eliminate based on least popularity, the girl with the most total votes wins and goes up the ladder. And of course we do this until we are down to 1. Now as you can see, the girls on the board are already paired up. That's because I put their names in a hat and drew them randomly. In the first bracket, it's Binky Bunny from Tiny Toon Adventures versus Space Jam Lola Bunny. In bracket 2, it's Lexi Bunny from the Lunatics Unleashed versus the Cadbury Caramel Bunny. In bracket 3, it's Judy Hopps from Zootopia versus Kelly O'Hare, aka Cutie Bunny. In bracket 4, we have a Sonic the Hedgehog matchup, Vanilla the Rabbit versus Bunny Rabbi. And over in bracket number 5, it's Molly McDonald from Offer versus Babs Bunny from Tiny Toon Adventures. Oh, and before we get started, there was one other stipulation added to this game that separates this from the Hottest Elimination games. For those of you who were trying to do my math during the voting process, this game wasn't channel only. In order to make the playing field more fair, I brought in outside voters, and off screen, I asked them all the same questions I asked you all on the channel. Surprise! The thing about tournament styles and drawing names randomly is that you can possibly end up with a matchup that isn't too balanced. Here, we have two Warner Brother bunnies with two different cartoon paths, despite being cut from a similar cloth in terms of their sex appeal. If Jawbreaker was to choose, which is me, I would have put Binky versus Babs and went ahead and put Lola versus Judy. But since I didn't do it, it was have mercy on anybody who had to go up against Lola and possibly Judy, at least for the first round. As we kick off the first round, on the channel, that's what CH stands for, Binky had 6, Lola with 64, placing Binky into an already crippling position. Her only lifeline now is possibly what happens next from the poll voters. And of course, there will be no mercy given. As a matter of fact, for the poor gag character, it's even worse. With 4%, she only had 10 votes. That was going up against Lola's staggering 96% with 263. So, as we turn back the page, Binky's 6 on the channel and 10 in the polls, while Lola's 64 on the channel and 263 in the polls, giving Binky only a grand total of 16, while Lola had a grand total of 327. Binky is eliminated while Lola advances to the next round. Over in bracket 2, it's Lola Bunny's descendant, Lexi Bunny, versus the Caramel Bunny. So let's get this contest started and get those numbers up on the board. Here on the channel, the voters voted in favor of Lexi Bunny with 40 votes, while the Caramel Bunny was lagging a little bit behind with 29. But can the poll voters save her? Apparently not. Apparently, in 2018, there's not enough love and respect for an icon who once made sexy anthropomorphic cartoons a thing. And for a cartoon rabbit who once ranked 3rd place behind Jessica Rabbit and Betty Boop, 29% is a hell of a drop. With only a total of 78 votes, she was greatly outmatched against Lexi Bunny's 71%, adding up to 192 votes in total. So, as we turn back to the page, Lexi, 40 from the channel, 192 from the polls, equaling out to a grand total of 332. While the Cadbury Caramel Bunny, 29 from the channel, 78 from the polls, equaling out to 107. Caramel is eliminated from the game, while Lexi moves on to the next round. You know what's a real shame? Is that every time Judy is involved in one of our elimination games, misery is sure to follow. Because even though I say it's a beauty contest, some folks can't accept that Judy can't win at everything. And when reality sets in and faced with the possibility that Judy cannot win, the next thing I know, certain folks want to accuse me of rigging the results. Even though in our first hottest elimination game, Judy had no business beating Lola, I went ahead and let the bigger majority of Zootopia fans keep their victory with Judy. Yes, new viewers, we are ass backwards. Judy Hopps won 1st place in a beauty contest the first time around. Cutie Bunny over on the right was eliminated at 7th place. 7th place. 7th place. 7th place! But, of course, you all do you because I know you all are gonna do you regardless. So, let's continue. Hold on, wait a second. Oh, I told you, they actually tried it. Come on, accept this as the 5th stage of grief, and we're still in denial. My bad. Anyway, here on the channel, Judy was voted with 36 votes. Cutie Bunny was behind her with 1 with 35. And may I mind you, this is the official total after I stopped counting votes at midnight. But over on the polls, the results are completely different. And yes, for this poll, I did reinforce the rules to them. I asked them who was the sexiest rabbit and told them, before you vote, I want to remind you all, this is like Sheila versus Zigzag. This poll is based on sex appeal and physical beauty. Callie, Cutie Bunny, got 65% of the vote. Judy Hopps got 35% of the vote. So, as we roll back the curtain, we get our official total. Judy with 132 and Cutie Bunny with 210. Judy's gone, but Cutie Bunny will move on to the next round.
You've got to let it go. You can't eat wheat thins, John. You're a puppet, and nothing's going to change that.
Over on bracket 4, it seems the luck of the draw brought us at least 2 characters with some chemistry. Vanilla the Rabbit and Bunny Rabbit. But of course the real story, at least with us, is with Bunny. And that's because she has fallen short not once, but twice. In the first 2 elimination games that was strictly channel only, she fell short in the hottest Bunny Girl elimination game, and then fell short in the hottest Sonic Girl elimination game, both in which were 3rd place. This time around, however, she might be looking to break her run of bad luck. Can she do it? Let's find out. Over on the channel, the girls got themselves a lovely matching pair of 34s. You get it? It's a female jewelry joke. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and move forward now. With no sizable outcome, the difference maker is now gonna come from the poll voters. Out of 270 votes, Bunny Rabbit got 67%, while Vanilla the Rabbit got 33. Vanilla was outmatched by 94 votes. So, as we turn back the page one more time, Vanilla had a grand total of 122. Bunny Rabbit, 216. Vanilla is eliminated from the game, but Bunny Rabbit will move on to the next round. We finally come to the 5th and last bracket on the first round. Molly McDonald versus Babs Bunny. Here on the channel, Molly received 34 votes, while Babs Bunny received 26. And as we flip the chart over to see what the poll voters wanted, it wasn't much better for Babsy. Out of 270, Molly got 69. She got 69! While Babs only received 31% of the vote. As we look back at the final total, Molly had 219, Babs 111. Molly moves on to the second round, while Babs is eliminated. As we look at the advancement ladder for the second round, while there are fewer girls on the board, there is only 5, leaving at least one girl without an opponent to pair up with. So I made the decision that at least one bracket was going to be one-on-one, while the other was a triple threat. Now we are actually getting somewhere. It's Ancestor versus Descendant, Lexi Bunny versus Lola Bunny. Meanwhile, over on the second bracket, it's Molly McDonald versus Cutie Bunny versus Bunny Rabbi. As we turn our attention back to Lexi and Lola, apparently they might come from the same tree, but they're not treated the same according to the channel. It's yet another beatdown reminiscent of Binky, Lexi with 9 votes, while Lola 64. And as we turn our attention to the polls, there isn't much saving grace there either. Lola Bunny with 89%, while Lexi only received 11%. Turning our attention back to the page to see the grand total, Lexi with 40, while Lola had 310. Lexi is out, but Lola will move on to the final round. Sadly, Lexi, you were massacred, but at least you tried. Over on poll 2, it seems that Molly's luck has finally run out, with only 9 votes, while Bunny Rabbi managed to lead Cutie Bunny only by 1 vote. Over on the polls, Cutie Bunny received 41%, while Bunny Rabbi received the highest with 51. As for Molly, things ain't much better with only 7%. As we look at the official totals, Molly 29, Cutie Bunny 145, and Bunny Rabbi 172. Of course, Bunny Rabbi is advancing to the final round, while Molly and Cutie are eliminated. And might I just say before we move forward, sometimes favoritism is not a road to victory. If Bunny Rabbi was somebody's solution to beating Lola Bunny, you might have just royally screwed yourself. But what does Jailbreaker know? People only listen to him when it's convenient. As we take one more look at the advancement ladder, it's Lola Bunny in the final round versus Bunny Rabbi. It looks as if Bunny finally managed to break her third place curse, and it only took the removal of 2 girls, a different voting system, a wider audience, and the struggle of breaking away from the norm. Meanwhile, Lola is looking to remind folks that she still is the top female bunny after having victory snatched from her the first time. Let's begin the final round. Once again, I'm going to remind you all that this is the official total after I stopped counting votes at midnight. If you were to recount the votes now, yes, Bunny has a little bit more than what's on the board, but it wasn't enough to beat out Lola on the channel. Even though Lola won this round, her victory is not yet absolute. Since the poll voters are clearly the bigger majority, they can easily take victory away from Lola again and give it to Bunny. So, let's begin our drum roll. Out of 270 votes, Lola Bunny 72, Bunny Rabbi 28%. Lola received 196 votes. Bunny Rabbi received 75. With 244 votes with a 132 difference, your winner of Miss Bunny Girl 2018 is Lola Bunny. Here is your official leaderboard. Lola Bunny first place 881. Bunny Rabbi, 2nd place, 500. Cutie Bunny, 3rd place, 355. Lexi, 4th place, 272. Molly McDonald, 248, 5th place. Judy Hopps, 132, 6th place. Vanilla the Rabbit, 7th place, 122. Babs Bunny, 8th place, 111. The Cadbury Caramel Bunny, 9th place, 107. And Binky, 10th place, 16 votes. Now here comes Jailbreaker again with his bluntness. I personally feel this list could have been better, but then again, you guys did this. Forget Judy. Judy is right there where she belongs, in the middle, not too low and not too high. Ironically, what's bothering me the most is that Molly is so high up and Babs and the Cadbury Bunny are so low. I'm glad that you all took my words to heart and found a newfound love for Molly, but we all have to admit, during the time when we did that first Hottest Bunny Girl elimination game, Molly was just flat out of her league. And I wish this motivation was actually there when we did the Cute Cup. And I say that because, thinking of the character of Molly, if she had to go up against any of the girls as far as being a supermodel, every last girl on this board would put the hurting on her. I understand that not everybody thinks like me. Most folks want their favorites to win. I want my favorites to win too, but I also want to put people where they're supposed to be. Molly versus Babs had me conflicted, and was one of those times I would have gladly sacrificed the redhead for Babs. But oddly enough, that wasn't even the greatest botch of the game that bothered me. It's the fact that there was an opportunity to actually topple Lola without much collateral damage. But once again, she was thrown away. It wasn't Bunny, and it's not Judy. It was Callie, Cutie Bunny. Jeez, people, I said it's a beauty contest. If you want to topple somebody like Lola, who's been a sex symbol cartoon icon for 20 years, you put somebody up there like Cutie Bunny who can at least frighten her. You are wasting good coconut titties! Don't take this the wrong way now. This is not criticism. This is advice. Learn how to pick warriors, not names. It's called being strategic. You want to knock out a Muhammad Ali, you need to put a Joe Frazier there who can do it. But who's Jawbreaker, right? We'll be right back to the same mess again when it's convenient for people the next time. Thank you all for tuning in to Miss Bunny Girl 2018 here on Playfur Cinema's Gone with the Fur Theater. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for future videos. My name is Jawbreaker, and I thank you for watching Playfur Cinema. Welcome everyone to the cutest Elwood girl elimination game. This will make our 6th elimination game, and today's theme features the cuties from the Offer TV series. It started out more like an experiment, but folks insisted that we keep it rolling, so here we are. Now, for those that are getting ready to ask me questions like where's Offer's mom, this one is a cute cup elimination game. Much like the previous version, it's specifically geared towards giving the younger characters a chance at winning. Let's not forget to mention that Offer has been around for 20 years. There's a lot of other appealing background characters not featured on this board. For example, there's this chocolate-colored bunny named Katie, who I regret not being able to add because she was a background character for only one episode. For this game, out of 12, I narrowed it down to the best looking and most recognizable characters. And when I say best looking, I mean Jenna was already disqualified, because that design was a mistake. That also applies to Egghead Emily too. Oh, trust me, I'm gonna be talking a lot of shit. Anywho, it's time to call out the names. DW, Sue Ellen, Marina, Muffy, Lydia, Fletcher, LaDonna, Prunella, Nadine, Francine, Fern, and Molly. Molly is the only veteran on this board. Everybody else has never been in a previous elimination game. Now, this will make the 4th time that our red-headed bunny has been featured. The first 2 times, unfortunately, wasn't that kind to her. In our first ever, which was the hottest bunny girl game, she got put out at 11th. Though granted, she was going up against a lot of heavy hitters. Then when we got to our very first Cute Cup elimination game, she did even worse. That game became a whole feud, but it needed to be used as a learning lesson. Don't bully girls off the board for petty reasons. Then a few years ago, we had something called Miss Bunny Girl 2018, which was pretty much a remake of the hottest bunny girl elimination game, minus Cream the Rabbit and Panini. Now what made this a little different was, it wasn't just the channel voters participating, it was also the outside voters from Google+. Now, since Molly had such a rough time prior to this, I added an alternative option. Patricia Bunny, Lola Bunny's mother from the Looney Tunes show. It was a game of Tomboy versus MILF. If Molly could beat Patricia, she would get on the board. And well, I asked Google Plus who was the sexier looking rabbit. Out of 270 votes, Molly squashed Patricia. It was almost a complete burial, 73% to 27. Granted though, I had a hard time trying to find a better picture for Patricia. Google Images just suck. But this wasn't nothing but like 2 years ago. The voters knew who Patricia was. If they really wanted her to win, she would have won. Now you just know, some uppity fucker is gonna be like, but she's just a child. Or, maybe there's an alternative reason. Maybe people just like tomboys. Maybe people just like redheads.
There's this thing in life called the gray area, ladies and gentlemen. We should try considering that first. Even though Miss Bunny Girl 2018 was a ladder-style elimination game, Molly was still living her best life. She made it all the way to 5th. People have been ranking characters based on sexuality, personality, skills, etc. since forever. They don't stop at anthropomorphic animals. And that video is indeed still uploaded. You should try checking it out. But now we're here, and the time for talk is over. It's time to see who everybody voted as the best Arthur girl. When it's the first week, you can expect a lot of characters on the board to go untouched, especially when there's not a lot of voters to begin with. Sue Ellen, Muffy, Lydia, Fletcher, LaDonna, and Fern were those girls that were not touched, while DW and Nadine took a punch to the stomach, while Francine, Molly, and Marina only took lighter jabs. With 17 votes, it looks like Nadine is going bye-bye. I must say, there is something incredibly ironic about the actual imaginary character being put out before all the other imaginary characters. Well, farewell Nadine, you meat-wad looking ass. Dude, she got the circular head and tooth and everything. You know, if these girls were real, what we're doing would not be helping their self-esteem. I mean, you gotta make it to 10th place, that's where most power ratings start. And it looks as though Prunella won't even be getting that, as she got the highest vote count for the week with 16. And while she will be going bye-bye, DW is right behind her with an ominous 11. And for another week, the voters pay no attention to Fern, Fletcher, and Lydia. It looks like without Nadine on the board, Molly and Sue Ellen also shot up as well. We'll see how that affects week 3, but for now, say goodbye to Cleo Diller's alternate dimension two-legged cousin. They're both under PBS, it's gotta be canon! Week 3 means we're finally done with the drop-off slots and can finally start our top 10. So yeah, according to the numbers, DW escaped another week, while Sue Ellen is the one that lost. Really guys? Sue Ellen before DW? Really? I don't know about that, but okay. I guess the ass wasn't fat enough. For week 3, outside the small fake out, the numbers stayed pretty consistent. I guess there isn't much else to say besides Sue Ellen has been eliminated and move on. For this week there was a total of 32 voters. That's generally how it starts out. But just wait till more girls are off the board and more people start joining in. Then these numbers are going to start getting harsher. That's when you'll be able to start measuring a character's popularity based on how much people want to single target them or leave them alone. On the board for week 4 we had a total of 33 votes. On this week, they finally caught up to DW. So the voters were nice enough to let Bratty DW get to 9th place. That's interesting. You like DW, don't you, Squidward? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got some viewers that like her irritating ass more than they want to admit to. Just go ahead and let it out, sir. While Fletcher and Fern begin to show chinks in the armor, the numbers still remain pretty stagnant. There also seems to be some sort of pattern with Marina. I guess whoever thought she was worthy of leaving early decided to cease fire for now. It's also not looking too good for Muffy, but will she escape persecution next week is the question. For now, say goodbye to Dora, Winifred, Reed as we move on to week 5. I don't know what Muffy did to earn that 26, but that 26 should be considered both child and animal abuse. You guys should be ashamed for what you did to Best Monkey. Shame! Muffy Crosswire, come on down! You're the first contestant on Catch a Beat Down. So, this is week 5, and there's a total of 43 votes on the board. I must ask a question to the new viewers that did not participate in the voting process with us. Based on where we are now, do you think you would be able to guess who the winner will be when this is all over? I must warn you, before you place your bets, things tend to go sideways the closer we get to the end. At this point, you're probably thinking, oh, Marina's so adorable and nobody's touched her for weeks, she can't possibly lose. And then you probably look over at Molly and think to yourself, there's no way in the world the biggest bully on the show is gonna get any further. Why not place your bets on LaDonna? She's not that bad looking either. What, you don't trust me? If you ain't confident now, let's see how you'll feel once we're on week 6. Two little monkeys jumping on the bed. Muffy fell down and took Francine with her. But when you compare numbers, Muffy got a fractured skull while Francine got a bruise. It seems it was decided that anything monkey was not good enough to go past 7th and 8th place. So with 18 votes, this is where the sidewalk will end for Francine. I'm gonna move this one right along, but as I look around the board, I don't see much change, but there is an ominous spike on Fern. If you were rooting for her, well, you might want to enjoy her while you can. There we go, now that's what I'm talking about. On week 7, it finally became a competition. Every girl this round outside of Fletcher has received some form of spike in the votes. Molly, 8, Marina, 2, Lydia, 6, Fletcher, 1, LaDonna, 16, and Fern gets stomped on with 24. The vote total on this week was 57, surpassing week 5. It was around this point I had to delay the game because I was having computer issues. It was like a good 5 months before we started up again. But like I said, folks wanted this to continue and here we are. Now giving the axe to Fern, who won't make it into the top 5. And now it's official. Molly, Marina, Lydia, Fletcher, and LaDonna are the top 5. I can say this is likely going to get exciting for some and depressing for others. And well, if you were cheering for Lydia, it's now depressing. Now for those that don't know, Lydia is actually somebody's original character that became canon. For her to make it to the top 5, that's actually pretty good. And while everybody else is getting an uptick, it's starting to look like deja vu with Molly. As we go on to week 9, Lydia will be rolling her ass off the board. 4 girls left, 3 more to go. Fletcher, 6. Marina, 30. Molly McDonald, 8. And LaDonna, 15. Now I bet you there's somebody probably saying, hey yo, get the popcorn, it's the bottom 4, Jawbreaker finna cut somebody out soon. Actually, no. Whatever steam I did have, I let it out before the video. If you are a Marina fan and you didn't like the results, you gotta take it up with the people who voted. Not me though, I just counted up the votes. I was actually vouching for the sight deficient rabbit. I made sure that this was the girl everybody wanted to remove and extended the time to vote. I was thinking, if there was one girl on this board that could legit threaten Molly, it was Marina. In the end, folks didn't change their mind, so here we are. At least, she can't see this coming. And to think, we were almost so close to having an all bunny brawl. You guys could have sacrificed the cat. She had 9 lives. Maybe. Well, with that devastating 23, she is definitely getting tossed out of the window now. Maybe she'll land on her feet. Okay, Jawbreaker, that's enough puns out of you, sir. As we scroll down to Molly and LaDonna, well, the gap between the two is not a good sign of things to come for LaDonna. As a matter of fact, there really ain't much else to do but to count down to the big winner. The final result is Southern Barbecue Rabbit, courtesy of LaDonna. Molly 8, LaDonna 46. On behalf of Playfur Cinema to the fans of Molly McDonald, congratulations, she is your cutest Elwood girl elimination game champion. Even though she doesn't do cute, but sometimes it's cuter when they don't want to be cute. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Remember, if you liked today's video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe for future videos, and remember to hit that notification bell. My name is Jawbreaker, and I thank you for watching Playfur Cinema.
Let's Oh.